right, we're back here. Not sure what happened with Facebook, but it showed me that we were off air. So we're back here. One lap is just started here, so we didn't miss anything. We're back here live at Laguna Seca with Luke Smith and Chuck Sweeting leading their way here to 39 up front. And JD Rich right behind them in the third spot. So 1, 2, and 3. Looks like all the cars are single file. And lap number 1. Sorry we had to restart here. I know I lost a lot of our people there. But we're back here. Not sure, Facebook decided that they wanted to end our stream. Not sure why. But we did get stopped for something. I'll look at that here later. Sorry about that for everybody. We're on lap number 1 of 45 for the 5-Star Realty ARCA series. As we're down through the corkscrew. We've already got a few drivers with a couple incident points. So 39 leading the way to the stripe here, followed by Chuck Sweeting, who's dove to the inside. It's a drag race. There's Brian Holman's checking in, saying that he had to work. Sorry to hear that, Brian. Could have liked to see the track, and we have a new leader in Chuck Sweeting out here, and that's 75. Gonna put our sponsors up for everybody to watch. Look there, in the Monterey Grand Prix. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Now, hopefully we can get everybody, all of our fan base back, because we had a little issue with Facebook. And we had to restart the stream. So lap number 2 underway here with Chuck Sweeting leading over Luke Smith. We inverted 10 drivers tonight. JD Rich is in the 3rd spot. Jared Mogart up to 4th. We're in the corkscrew here. Whoa, some sliding around by JD in his 61. He's in that 3rd position. And the race leader off to almost a 2-second lead as we complete lap number 2. And Frank McCall says this looks great. Good, thank you, appreciate it. But these drivers are the ones doing the real work. I'm just basically getting to watch like you. So there's the 5-Star Realty Group with that 75 leading everybody by 2.5 seconds now. Just try to find some real close battle, like Justin Grosser up into the kitty litter there. Put it back on the racetrack, and he's gonna have to watch that. He's at the 5 incident points, and we're only lap 3 of 45. It could definitely hurt. Grosser in that Speedco 38 car. For another quick battle here. Looks like Tim Smith now challenging JD Rich in that Pennzoil with teeth. That number 101 shows on our scores 1 North. Race car driver here, and that Pennzoil machine is up to the 3rd spot. And he is a new racer to the ARCA series. This will be his first start with the ARCA series. You see him now coming up to the 39 of Luke Smith. Looking for somebody off here. Will Eastman. And that's that final corner. We had some issues right there with Will Eastman. Justin Grosser up to 9 as 9 incident points, and not sure if he just came in another off track or had contact. Biggest mover right now is Phil Martin. Oh man, has he got some damage on that ride. He's moved up from 21st to 11th. He is the biggest mover so far tonight. Our Charger Award will be presented by Track Time Entertainment. We'll head back up to the front. See the corkscrew here. Coming out with our front three as they make their way down the hill. Second to last corner here. Coming to the last turn to the flag. Will be completing lap number 4. Tim Smith in that number 1 fastest car. As we're working lap number 5. So fairly spread out. Looking for the biggest challenger. Here's a 33 of Marshall Johnson and Joe Witoski in that 24 as they're coming off 1 and 2. Frank, this is iRacing, and this is the Laguna Seca track in iRacing. You get a chance to check it out. How's Barrett doing? Let's check out. Kevin Barrett is in the 21st position here. Has 6 incident points. 09 is... It looks like his car is in pretty good condition, so he may have some offs. But this will be looks like so far a race of attrition. A lot of beat up race cars already. We'll check up here. Our race leader is being pursued by the 101, that Pennzoil with teeth, as we enter into turn number 1 with the 75 and the number 1. So Chuck Sweeting in the South car under hot pursuit by the number 1 North machine of Tim Smith. Tiny Horse up to the top of the charts. Inside goes the 1 of Tim Smith to take over the lead. April's checking in on the north-south and says, "Come on, Tiny Horse." Not quite sure what's going on with Facebook tonight. Hopefully the other streams are not doing so bad, because I'm seeing some issues. Not seeing anything on my end. We're watching here as the corkscrew entering with 1 of Tim Smith, as he gets in the gas a little bit early there and gets the car kind of sideways. All right. Just checking the screen to make sure that I'm giving you the best product that I can get for you. And that is Tim Smith leading the way. He's down through the gears. He is really taking to this course as he's off to a 2-second lead. This might be a good time to go through our field. Tim Smith, that number 1 leading followed by the 75, Chuck Sweeting. And Luke Smith in the number 39. Jared Apel is now in the 4th position at 51. Justin Grosser's moved up to 5th from the 9th spot. The Speedco loves he's last week's winner, looking for number 3 here in that Ford Fusion. JD Rich in the DTA, number 61, is in the 6th spot, with Ryan Johnson coming through the corkscrew here. That GM tie-dye number 3 is in the 7th spot. 8th is Jared Mogard in the number 00. Jordan Madron in the 68 is in the 9th spot. Phil Martin has moved up to 10th, 11 positions from the start. George Schultz in the 77, 11th. Will Eastman in that number 99. Coming in that last turn is 12th. Joe Witowski in the 24. The do-it-yourself is in 13th. 14th is Adam Gable. As you see him without that front clip, so some heavy damage to that Ford Performance 12. Marshall Johnson is in the 15th position with Travis Hoffler in 16th. Jason Gordon in the Pat's Blue Ribbon is now in 18th, with 17 of Kevin Barrett Jr. just passed him for 17th. Justin White is in the Skull 88 with Drew Halloran also with some heavy damage, and the 47 is in 20th. Jeff Mathis has disconnected. He's being shown in 21st, and Thomas Stewart in the pits is in 22nd in the 64. So that is a run through the field. We'll get back to the front here with our race leader of Tim Smith. It looks like some of our followers have made it back. I said we are having some issues with Facebook, so we had to restart this stream. And we are in the lap number 9 with 21 drivers still on the raceway. 1 driver is disconnected. The 22 cars have come here to take on the 45 laps of the Monterey Grand Prix here at Laguna, Seca, in Salinas, California. But Tim Smith off to a 5-second lead over the 2nd place car of the 75 of Chuck Sweeting. These guys are putting in about a minute, little over a minute and a half per lap. Some guys as far as back as 1:47. And, Justin Grosser is at an 11 for incident points, so he's going to have to take it easy. You only get 14 and then it's out, as he's right there behind Jared Apel trying to get up to the front, as Justin Grosser is looking to try to make this 3 in a row, as he's got 2 checkered flags and no one's been able to stop him here lately. Evan Edwards says, "Let's go, JD." JD Rich, who's in the 7th spot right now. You see a 38 light up those tires coming off that last corner. And he has Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson right behind him. You see that Goodwrench tie-dye machine come up through the hill into 38, diving down into turn number 1. The 38 and the number 3 of Ryan Johnson in battle on lap number 10 of the 45 scheduled for tonight. So Mathis is out. Stewart is on pit lane. Actually, he's back on the track. So Thomas Stewart trying to get a few laps in to at least move up 1 spot. And you see it's that Justin Grosser there in the 5th spot. He's under the number 3 is right behind him. Pretty much, it's Will Eastman here is in that number 99 at the Exalta is right behind George Schultz in the 77. So Luke Smith, Jared Apel. Oh wow, that last corner got 4 cars racing to the front here to that stripe. Jared Apel leading the way in 3rd. So it's a 4-car battle for 3rd spot here in Laguna Seca as we've completed 10 laps. We're going to turn 1 and 2 as we got 4 cars all together side by side at 38 and 39. So Luke Smith back to 6th now as Apel is moving his way up. About 3 seconds to Chuck Sweeting. This Apel, Johnson, and Grosser. Now looks like JD Rich is finding his way through here as Tiny Horse has just got around Apel for 3rd. Some of these guys have done their homework on this track as you see 5 cars nose to tail on the 11th lap at Laguna Seca. That 29 ride back to the 39. There's that 5-car grouping here. Looks like Grosser went down into pit lane, and he has Grosser on pit lane with JD Rich. Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson turning into lap 1 to turns 1 and 2 as he is caught Chuck Sweeting within about an 1/8 behind him. Show our intervals. There's that 8th. Pitts is the 3 behind Chuck. Look here is the 75 right under attack by the 3. And we're coming up the hill. There's the 177 of George Schultz. Back here with Johnson and Sweeting as we're down through the corkscrew. And it looks like the 3 dives on the inside give the 2nd spot to Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson. Ryan has 10 seconds to catch up to race leader Tim Smith. You see that is Justin Grosser coming out of pit lane in the 11th spot. And he has got his services taken care of there. We're on board with Phil Martin here in the 46 ride. He's got 12 laps on his stint as he's right behind the 38. Number 20 ride of Travis Hoffler in pursuit by Justin White in the 88. 13 laps down here through the corkscrew they go. Justin Grosser right behind George Schultz now. George Schultz has 8 incident points. I said at 14, they will be disconnected from the server. Something that is done directly by iRacing. Nobody involved in that at all. Glad you viewers were able to come back and catch us as we had to move the stream. Facebook had some issues and stopped the transmission, so we had to restart. With the 177 and George Schultz around. Schultz around now has 10 incident points. He's going to have to take it easy here. He's got 13 lap tires. We're in lap number 14. And he gets it back underway. Will Eastman right behind Jared Mogard as Justin Grosser comes into view in the 9th spot, as he's got these two guys right directly in front of him. They have not pitted yet. Luke Smith in the 39 is currently in pit lane. Now Justin Grosser around Will Eastman. He's trying to get that car up to the front here. And Grosser trying to look at the inside of the 0-0. Not going to happen there in turn 1. Ooh, Travis Hoffler off the corkscrew. It's really quick there. 38 looking for a way to pass Jared Mogard. He's on his outside. Looking to go in, not able to get on the outside there on that turn. 38 looking at the inside here. Looks like Mogard is going to let him go on by. So Justin Grosser up to the 6th spot. On board with Jared Mogard, you see the 38 just stretching out his lean as we're going up the hill. You see how loose these cars are off the corner on power. Working lap number 15, so across the stripe here will be a third way done through the corkscrew. See Jared Mogard muscling that car at number 00 with the chrome numbers. Coming through here, and when they cross the stripe, they'll be done with lap 15. So 30 laps to go here at the Monterey Grand Prix, Laguna Seca in Salinas, California. Race leader now Tim Smith starting to lap parts of the field. That's the 33 ride of Marshall Johnson. Put him down a lap. So 18 cars on the lead lap. As that Pennzoil car has teeth. Justin Grosser moving up on Jordan Mandarin there. Just goes around on the outside. Now to the inside. It's a 68. A little bit of damage on that inside, on his left side door. Grosser followed by Madron. Schultz here. Under attack by Watoski in the 24. Jared Apel on pit lane. And has disconnected. I'm not sure what happened to Jared, but Jared is off the track. Here we are in the corkscrew with the 24 and the 77. On board with the 77. In the last right-hand corner here, and then we'll get to that really sharp turn. The final corner before the start-finish line. You see Joe Witowski working on that 77 at George Schultz. He's got it all the way out to the high side. And down the hill to 1 and 2. Here's the number 3 car of Ryan Johnson, who's now starting to catch that traffic himself. 33 of Marshall Johnson just goes right around him. So Tiny Horse is cutting into Tim Smith's lead. It's now only 8 seconds. It was over 10 seconds at one time. It was the 88, that Skull car of Justin White. And it was There's JD Rich, who's come out of the pits. He's in the 13th spot. Adam Gable is on pit lane. He's a lap down right now. So Grosser and Schultz, both with 11 incident points, as we're just over a third done. This is JD Rich, as he just blew right on by the 29 of Jason Gordon. The DTA ride. You see just Jason Gordon there. Lets the 88 go on by. The 24 and the 77 continuing to battle out here. 101 just puts the 29 car down a lap as we're on board with the race leader, Tim Smith. He's got his eyes on Justin White in the 88 Skull Ride as he's coming up to the top of the hill here. Into this corkscrew. See where that car wants to get loose. He made a good pass here. The one ride just under the inside of the 88. Puts another car at lap down. So we're down to 12 cars now on the lead lap. The number one has not pitted yet. He's 17 laps on this stint as his teeth continue to tear up the track. 77 and that number 24 continue to do the battle for the 8th position as Ryan Johnson eating into Tim Smith's lead, now only 6.7 seconds. John Mattern's in cheering on Jordan. Jordan currently is in the 5th position now, is the 68 of Jordan Madru. And up to P5. The top 5 for Jordan, doing pretty good tonight. There's Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson tearing up the track. I believe he's the fastest car out there right now, as well as Justin Grosser. So I'll show you the last laps. Show that up on the screen here for you. Those are the last lap times. Johnson 1.5 seconds faster than race leader Tim Smith. We're looking at Phil Martin and his ride here, as he just got past that 39. So Phil Martin in the 7th spot. Got 1.5 seconds from the race leader to Ryan Johnson. And the fastest car, looks like right now on the track, is Justin Grosser in the 4th position. So 19 cars are, actually 20 cars are on the raceway right now. 2 cars have disconnected. Almost the entire top 10 have yet to pit. The only car in the top 10 that has pitted already is the number 38 of Justin Grosser, who is 34 seconds behind the race leader of Tim Smith in that number 1 Pennzoil machine. Ryan Johnson sitting 6 seconds behind Tim Smith, with Chuck Sweeting now 24 seconds behind the leader. 24 and 77 continuing this close race for the 8th spot. Working lap number 19 of the 45 for tonight's distance. For the Monterey Grand Prix, the 24 a little wide on that final corner there. It's allowed Jordan Mandarin to catch up, and he could make this a 3-car fight now for the. Actually, that's not sorry, that is the Kevin Barrett Jr. car in the 10th spot, making this a 3-ways battle for 8th. 77 got the 24 all up in his rear view mirror. Now Kevin Barrett Jr. starting to get large in the 24's rear view. Yeah, these guys have 2 sets of tires in their pit stalls. The fuel cells are able to go all the way up to 100%. They do not have any fast repairs, so no spare car in pit lane. So any damage, they'll have to repair it before they get back out on the racetrack or suffer the consequences of having a broken race car. As we're going through the corkscrew with a 77-24 in the 09 of Kevin Barrett Jr. This continues to be the best fight out here right now. As we're riding on board with a 24, as he's got that, looking at the back of that 77, looking for a way around as we're in the final corner. You see the 77 took it a little wide there, a little hot, and it gives that spot to the 24 of Joe Witowski, now in the 8th position. So the top 3 have not pitted. Smith, Johnson, Sweeting. I wonder when they're going to come in. It's lap 20 of 45. I wonder if they can make it halfway, and that's the way they're trying to go here. If they can make it to 23, that'll be halfway. As Justin Grosser pitted 9 laps ago, and he's moving through the field pretty quickly in the 4th position. The 0-0 machine of Mogard in the 6th spot, and Phil Martin in 7th right behind him. Will Eastman in the 9th spot has also pitted about 5 laps ago. Then JD Rich was on pit lane with Justin Grosser. So working lap 21 of the 45 for Tim Smith. You see that double 0-0 getting a little bit happy out there on getting off the final corner, and that car was fishtailing around. Turn 1 and 2 here, that double U-turn coming off of the hill. Looks like Jason Gordon in the 29 has put it in the trailer as well tonight. So 3 cars have officially parked of the 22 that started tonight's event. 0-0 here, followed by the 46 of Phil Martin. Phil Martin with some heavy damage on that race car, but still showing it can be pretty quick. That's the 7th spot. Luke Smith in front of them is actually a lap down, the 39. If you're joining us on One to Go Studios in any of our formats, either Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, I'd like to see that you're here. Give me a shout out in the text. Tell me who you're following so we can help your driver get to the front. You already see some of the people talking. We have April and Evan and John all in the North-South Racing League Facebook Live page. So 22 laps of 45 are being worked upon right now. Ryan Johnson has caught the back of Tim Smith as we're going through the corkscrew, and there's that 3 ride. He sees that 1 and he's hungry. Hey, small equine. I like that, Brian Hacker. Small equine, aka Tiny Horse. Tiny Horse has got a lot of gallop because he's right there. He's a 10-second lead down to about nothing. So he's doing pretty darn good here as Tim Smith enters pit lane. Looks like he tried to split this in half. Looks like he was on to do that. Ryan Johnson, I'm not sure. He'd probably get on pit lane next as we see the 46. Phil Martin coming out of pit lane as Tiny Horse, your new race leader out of turn number 2. So Smith on pit lane. 14 seconds in his box. He's heading out now. Johnson and Sweeting The only top two drivers who have not pitted, and followed by Justin Grosser and Tim Smith, who have both already gone through their first set of pit stops. And 12 laps on Justin Grosser's, currently on the 23rd lap. So this is about the same time that Justin Grosser came in for green flag service last time, so I'm not sure if he's going to come down early this time. Jared Mogard in the 6th spot now down pit lane. Some of these drivers trying to split the race in half. Ryan Johnson on pit lane. So the 77 that was Kevin Barrett Jr. looking on him there. Kevin Barrett Jr. has pitted. Chuck Sweeting now coming down pit lane as Justin Grosser just got around him. 24 off the track. Saw they were really quick in the litter. In the sandbox it is. Delaney Jones says, let's go, Jordan. Jordan holding down that 5th spot. Chuck Sweeting on pit lane. At 101 and the 38 side by side. A little contact there. That contact is enough to send Justin Grosser home for a 14x disqualification. I'm not sure if he's going to be happy about that one, but he's had a tough night and was bitten by the DQ monster. As Tim Smith just came off the pit lane on fresh tires, was trying to make that path around Justin Grosser when they made contact. The 0-0 and the 33 coming out that final corner. This is for, that's Jared Mogard in the 8th spot. The 33 is a lap down. "24 laps of 45, so just over 20 laps remaining in tonight's event. No cautions, no green-white checkers, no wave-arounds, no lucky dogs. The drivers on the racetrack with their own strategies trying to make this happen. And we see everybody moving around here. Ryan Johnson still maintaining the lead with 5-second lead over Tim Smith now after green flag pit stops. The Tiny Horse is definitely galloped tonight. There's the 68 of Jordan Mandarin, who's got some of his fans sitting in the house tonight. Number 20 of Travis Hoffler, he's a lap down. Back, since we have this, let's go through the race field. Ryan Johnson leading the way in that number 3 Good Wrench Service Plus tie-dye 3 in the top spot. In the second spot is the Pennzoil with teeth, the 1N of Tim Smith. Chuck Sweeting, the 75 ride, is in the 3rd spot. Jordan Mandarin currently in 4th place in the 68. Will Eastman in the Exalta 99. So Adam Riley, another of the Mandarin fans, says, get her done, Jordan. And Will Eastman in the 5th spot in the 99. JD Rich in the DTA 61 Monster in the 6th spot. Jared Mogard, the 0-0. I Buy Power, those cool chrome 0-0s. Ryan Johnson just putting up the fastest lap, as we see the 7 there passing lap traffic. Kevin Barrett Jr. up to 8th in the 0-9. Adam Gable in the 12 is in the 9th position. Joe Witowski, the do-it-yourself 24 in the 10th spot. Luke Smith in the Goodwrench Service Plus with the Sonic design in the 39, currently in 11th. He is a lap down. George Schultz, 77, is also a lap down in the 12th spot. Phil Martin, currently in the 13th position, has been in pit lane twice now, and he's having some issues right there. Is locked that corner up. That's going to have an off track there as he tries to get back on the racetrack. He's in 13th. Travis Hoffler is in the 14th spot. Marshall Johnson in the City Chevrolet 33 is in the 15th spot. Justin White in the 88 just is moved up to 15th as he just passed Marshall Johnson. And Thomas Stewart is in the 64 in the 19th spot. We now have 5 drivers who have left the service. So 17 drivers racing and putting down times. Zero in the 61 of JD Rich and Mogard. That's for the 6th spot. You see him side by side, setting up the corner. 0-0 to slightly, through the grass. Actually through the sands. 0-0, still trying to get the car underneath him. He'll lose a few spots there. JD Rich up to 6th. Will Eastman in the 5th spot in the number 99. The 0-0 having an issue with the corkscrew, and that'll probably get him a slowdown penalty on the racetrack. If you leave the surface and they deem it cutting the course, they'll issue a time penalty where you have to slow the car down. There's 33 in his 09. The 09 is an 8th spot. The 33 is lap down. Kevin Barrett Jr., the last car on the lead lap. His Tiny Horse has extended his lead to 5.3 seconds over Tim Smith. He has a 38-second lead over Chuck Sweeting. You see Kevin Barrett's 1 minute 24 seconds behind, and they're putting in 1 minute 32 laps. So he's about 8 seconds separation between Kevin Barrett and race leader Ryan Johnson. So 8 seconds behind him. So he's got a little bit of a gap before he's lapped. If you're watching in the One to Go Studios, Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, give me a shout out in the text. Let me know you're watching. Tell me who you're rooting for. 28 of 45. We hit the stripe here. 27 down. See the 0-0 there, struggling with that corkscrew. I know he had some issues locking up his tires, so he did have some flat spots there. Austin Green. Yeah, I'm not sure, Austin, what happened, but Facebook shut us down, so I had to restart the stream. Sorry about that. You can just need you guys to hit that bell so you get notified. Evan Edwards checking out the 61 of JD Rich. You guys hit those notification buttons. We'll definitely... we should be able to keep you going here. We're having some issues again with Facebook, it looks like. It looks like Facebook may be having some trouble tonight. I apologize for that. But I'm not seeing anything on our end here. I'll have to go check it out afterwards and see what's going on Facebook. I just saw that had a huge slowdown in the last lap here. So glad, Austin, you were able to catch back up with us. But Dev, if you guys are watching us on any of our forums, make sure you get notifications of when we go live. We have other services, other leagues going on. So we're racing on Monday nights, Thursday nights. We're covering Wednesdays, Fridays. And then I'm with the Extreme Motorsports guys. They have their own Twitch channel on Sunday nights. And we're looking here at the number 20 and the 09 as Kevin Barrett moves up to the 8th spot. He is the last car on the lead lap. So 29 of 45. Public number 1 there sliding around. So we're on board here right now with JD Rich as he's looking at that 99 of Will Eastman. And that's on board with Smith as he's hitting the stripe right to the flag man. And the hill he goes into turn 1 and 2. So Smith, your second place car, is now eating into the lead down to 4.7. Was about 5.3 as we're looking here. The number 99, Will Eastman, and JD Rich is the run for the 5th spot. That Exalta and the DTA ARCA cars doing battle for 5th spot. Currently George Schultz in the 77 and Thomas Stewart in the 64 are in danger of being bit by the DQ bug. 14, your car is put in the garage, you like it or not. Bill Martin on pit lane. Looks like he's getting some heavy service. It's 5 minutes 45 seconds right now, so he must have some heavy damage on that car. 61 passing there, and the one over the passing Travis Hoffler, who's a couple laps down. That DTA car had to lock the car up in the last corner as he's got the inside line of the 99 now, turn 1 and 2. 99 slides by, so JD Rich up to the top 5. And Will Eastman, the 99, Exalta. Jordan Madron up to the 4th position in the 68. 15 Intel Trackers, that's exactly right. 15 to go here. Cameraman doing all the work tonight. Kevin Barrett Jr. in the 8th spot is the final car on the lead lap. Lap number 31 being worked on by these guys here. Looks like 15 cars, actually 16 cars are on the track doing laps. Philip Martin is a 17th car currently in pit lane. Jordan Madron in the number 68 has now got his 10th incident points, and that puts him in jeopardy of the DQ monster. Heavy contact will get you a 4X, and that'll be it for him tonight. Exalta runs wide on the track, and Jared Mogard went around in there, and that 99, not sure if he was running loose there or he just didn't have anywhere to go with a 0-0 on his inside. So Johnson leading by 6 seconds again over Tim Smith. See these guys continuing to tick off the time. There's the 09 of Kevin Barrett Jr., who is now looking at trying to get the 7th spot away from Will Eastman. Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson in the back of the 09 as he's looking to lap the two here, the 09 and the 99. The 09 trying to put a car between him and the race leader. And number 99, the 09 behind him is Kevin Barrett Jr. Car looking pretty good. Smoke up there in front of the 99. I think the 0-0 as he's sliding off the racetrack but stays out of everyone else's way. There's into the corkscrew. 09, 99, the number 3. That race leader is looking to find a way to get around these two lap cars. 09 of Kevin Barrett Jr. off the track slightly there, as the 3 is trying to find a way to get around him. He's presenting himself on the inside in the final corner. Kevin Barrett Jr. is going to let him get around there. Number 3, a little bit with that right rear stepped out just a tad, but was able to control it there. Our race leader put that 09 down a lap, and that's allowed the 99 of Will Eastman to gap the 09 a little in turn 1 and 2. See that smoke of the lockdown that the 99 just did there in turn number 1. So 6 cars on the lead lap as we're on board with Tiny Horse Johnson. He's trying to make it only 5 because he's right on the back of Will Eastman, 99, who's currently in the 6th spot. You see that race leader just putting these guys a lap down, having no issues getting around the guys. But while he's fighting here, it's allowed Tim Smith to cut the lead down to 4.6 seconds. Looking to go on the inside of the 99 here, setting up for the corkscrew. 99 and the 09 with a heavy break there. Jared Moger having to lock him up on the entry to the corkscrew, as they were closing on each other pretty quick and everybody stayed off one another. The 9 back on the 99 here is Kevin Barrett Jr. looking for that 6th spot. So we will have a new winner for tonight. Justin Grosser not able to finish the event. You see this battle between the 09 and the 99. They're going to turn number 1 and 2 here. And the 09 will get around the 99 there as the number 1. See him as our 2nd place car coming into view. And he's going to have to deal with these guys that are lapped down in traffic, as Tiny Horse is starting to extend his lead again. About 12 laps remaining at the Monterey Grand Prix here at Laguna Seca, Salinas, California. We're turning left and right in the desert. As I said, if you guys are watching us on any of our streams, give us a text if you're watching. Let us know who you're following, where your driver's at. Try to run through here and make sure we get everybody some of that sponsored love with the TV camera. You see the 99. The corkscrew has proven to be a difficult beast here tonight. Luke Smith, he's a lap down. There's Tim Smith, as he's right on the back of the number 99, coming out of the final corner. He's going to make that climb up to turn number 1, past the stripe and then down the hill. You see how much force the car has. You see the nose down attitude of the heavy braking at the 1 and the 99. And the 1 gets on the inside and passes the number 99 relatively easy right in that corner, as he goes to work on Kevin Barrett Jr. now, who's in the 6th spot. Tiny Horse extended his lead out to now 6.3 seconds with only 5 cars on the lead lap. And JD Rich is now just slightly ahead of your race leader. And there he is in that 61. So the number 3 is trying to put the number 5 car, the 5th place position, down a lap as he's coming through the corkscrew. JD Rich doing pretty good tonight. He only has 2 incident points, and that would be the lowest on the racetrack. As there's the contact with the number 3, turns the 3 around. Wow, heavy contact between the 61 and the number 3 car. As we see the Tiny Horse just getting passed by the 1 now with that contact with the 61. So Tim Smith back to the race lead after contact between the 61 and the 3. And the number 1 now getting around the 61 as the 3 car of Tiny Horse is getting to the back of the 61. The race leader, Tim Smith, only has about a 1.5 second lead as JD just lets this time allow Johnson to go skate it right on by. So we're down to 10 laps to go. You're watching the 99 and the 61. This is the battle for the 6th spot. As I was saying that JD Rich only had 2 incident points, and then that contact with a 3 gave him another 4. And that's got Chuck Sweeting and Luke Smith, both with 3 being the lowest incident count on the raceway. So the battle for 6th is heating up between Rich, Eastman, and Mogard. As now there are only, looks like 5 cars are on the lead lap, as Kevin Barrett Jr. has gotten on the lead lap here. Around here with Will Eastman going down into turn number 1. Right behind him is Jared Mogard in the 0-0. Who's gotten, heavy braking. Able to keep that car from going sideways. And then there's JD Rich back now in the 8th spot. So 5 cars are on the lead lap. Race leader is Tim Smith, but not by much. 2/10. Let's check out the race. It's Tiny Horse. A little contact between the 1 and the 3. And it looked like Tiny Horse had gotten the lead for a second. And the number 1 has gotten back around. So these guys are going to be battling it out until the end here. In the corkscrew they go. Whipping it left, whipping it right. Coming out of the corkscrew to some of the faster parts of the track. Here's the number 3 and the 1 doing battle for the top spot. Over a minute between the 2 here and the 3rd place car of Chuck Sweeting, who's pretty much been in that spot for the good part of tonight. The 1 and the 3 coming up to the stripe to complete 37. 7 laps. Turn 1 and 2 here, the 3 and the 1. 3 gets way low in that corner. You see we're on board with the 1. He's on the inside here. And Tiny Horse is on the outside of him in this corner. They crossed over there. 3 looking for a way to get around the 1 again and hold it. Having a hard time getting there. For the technical part of the course. Another left-hand turn here. The 3 on the outside. Be another left-hander coming. Ooh, the 1 slideways. He'll come up into the 2nd spot as Tiny Horse makes that left-hand turn and now has a 3/10 lead over Tim Smith. Coming through the corkscrew. Is now Tim Smith 1.2 seconds behind race leader Ryan Johnson. I'm going to start putting you through the field here again. The 0-0 on the back deck of the 99. This is that battle for the 6th spot. 3-car battle. In with the 0-0, you can see the 99 Will Eastman as they crest the top of the hill down into turn number 1. That 0-0 Mogard, whoa, Nelly. Way hot into turn number 1. Gives up the position to JD Rich in the 61 DTA. So JD Rich up to 7th as Will Eastman kind of spreads it out just a tad bit. Keep working here. 39 laps. This is the 39 lap being worked upon. 6 to go here. Johnson out to a 1.9 second lead over Tim Smith. A whole minute back between them to Sweeting and Mandarin. 1 minute 25 seconds. Kevin Barrett Jr. now right in front of race leader Ryan Johnson. Looks like he got 0.3 in front of race leader Johnson. And you see the 09 with the 3 on his outside, going up the hill, down in the turn number 1. The 3 on that outside line puts him down a lap. So back to only 4 cars on the lead lap. Right now the hard charger is that Kevin Barrett riding at 09, coming from the 18th spot. That DTA ride at 61 definitely looking pretty good in that spot there. As he's starting to run down the 99 up to this. That's the battle for 6th spot. The biggest movers, let's check out those real quick here. Kevin Barrett Jr. up 13 spots. Kevin Barrett up 11. And Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson, after the flip, he started in 10th. So he's up 9 positions. The DTA car now looking to challenge the 99 Exalta ride of Will Eastman. You see we're on board with the 61 monster car, the DTA. You see him trying to find a way to get around the 99 coming off the final corner. And he's got a rear view mirror full of the 0-0 of Jared Mogard. This is probably the most exciting part on the racetrack between these 3 cars, is why the cameras keep finding their way back here. Even though they're a lap down, they are the closest things out there. Eastman, Rich, and Mogard, 99, 61, and the 00. Getting all kinds of TV time tonight. 5 laps to go. So Mogard, Stewart, and Madron, all with 12 incident points or more. Everybody else can still afford an incident. 4 laps to go. Ryan Johnson out to a 4-second lead over the number 1 of Tim Smith. Pennzoil with teeth there as you see him underneath the bridge. They're sliding that car around. So let's check who our fastest lap is. Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson, fastest lap, 130.819. I believe he was the only race car in the 130s. That is right. The next one's in the 131s, which is Tim Smith in that one ride. Looking on the inside of Tiny Horse as you watch him turning that wheel. Hear him going through the gears there. Coming off that final corner as we're coming up to the stripe here. Come down here and we'll see how he takes turn 1 and 2, and then we'll switch off here. Going through the gears, coming down the hill into the corner. Hard to that left, 90 degrees for the double left-hander. With 3 laps to go to the race leader, Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson. 4.7 seconds lead. So back here with the 99 and the 61. The 68 of Jordan Madron, who has the 09 of Kevin Barrett Jr. on the back deck. Looking for that 4th spot is Kevin Barrett Jr. Looks like he's gotten around there as he's putting Jordan Madron back to the 5th spot. So now the top 3 are the only ones on the lead lap. So Johnson, Smith, then Sweeting. And Sweeting is 1 minute 17 seconds. Madron taking the corkscrew in a really weird spot. It's going to cause him to get a slowdown as the 1 of Tim Smith got around him there. So the sticks will be out for race leader Ryan Johnson, as he's going to be given the 2 to go signal as he comes around to the flag man. So 2 to go here. Ryan Tiny Horse is shown the 2 sticks for 2 to go. So he's got a 6-second lead over Ryan Johnson over Tim Smith in his debut. Tim Smith is with us in the ARCA series. We got 2 laps to go. Ryan Johnson commanding lead here. It shows he can do it in 1 pit stop. And Tim Smith behind him. Chuck Sweeting. But Chuck's done a spectacular job of keeping it inside the white lines. Only 3 incident points tonight. Looking at some of the license here. Kevin Barrett Jr. for official series has a rookie license in road courses, which is basically, or that's Kevin Barrett Jr., sorry, because Chuck Sweeting has an A license with the 1451, so he's practiced pretty well in the road courses. Tim Smith with a B class with a 1925, and he looks like he's the highest I rating. As we watch Tiny Horse coming to the white flag. White flag, 1 to go to number 3 of Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson in that tie-dye Goodwrench Chevrolet. As he's getting it done here. 8 seconds now, the gap back to Tim Smith. We're going to stay on the race leader here. As he's putting it down. He's got the fastest lap. He had the fastest car in qualifying. Putting on a clinic tonight is Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson. Left and right turning showing us how to get it done. As we're on the final lap. And he's going to the corkscrew the final time. Just a few more corners. 2 more corners. Heading to that final turn. The hairpin left turn and then head up into the hill to the top. The checkered flag in the man's hands. You see him there. Coming to the stripe, on board with Ryan Tiny Horse as he takes the checkered flag for the Monterey Grand Prix. There's your race winner, Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson, in the number 3. We get on Tim Smith here as we'll see him catch down the hill, so he's got his second place victory, his second place podium in place here as Chuck Sweeting will give him his final lap here. As he's going to get a podium finish tonight. The number 75, Chuck Sweeting. Start to find our buddies around here. That's 75. That's Chuck getting his last lap in here. Couple of turns to go for his 3rd place. Third spot goes to the 75. And we'll go run through the results real quick here. Your results: Johnson, Smith, Sweeting, a lap down. Kevin Barrett Jr., Mandarin, Rich, Eastman, Mogard, Gable, Smith. That's your top 10. And with Toski a lap down, so 2 laps down. Hoffler, White, and Johnson. Marshall Johnson. 13 laps down. Thomas Stewart. George Schultz 14 laps down. Phil Martin back 21. Justin Grosser back 22. Jason Gordon back 28. Drew Holleran back 30. Jared Apel 31 down. And Jeff Mathis 40 laps back. That was your 5-star Realty Group Monterey Grand Prix final results. WeatherTech Raceway at Laguna Seca here in Salinas, California. And we're waiting for the number 75 to make his appearance with these guys here tonight. He's got to find his way back to the stripe. Where his pitcher? All right. Looks like we have our 3rd place rider right there. That's Chuck. So let's talk to the guys. Chuck, man, you're in the booth with Harold, 3rd place on the lead lap, the 75 here at Laguna Seca.
Hey, Harold, how's it going, man?
Doing pretty good, man. This has got to be a beast. I know 45 laps in this car at this track has got to be wearing you guys out.
Yeah, it's interesting. I had a league race last night, so I couldn't run the practice session, and the only thing I've ever run here, I think, is the Mazda Miata, and that was about 7 years ago. So it was quite a learning curve from the start to the finish. But I don't know, I just kept it on the track as much as I could and tried not to overdrive it. I did one time, spun out with about 12 to go, but didn't lose any spots. So very happy to bring it home in 3rd tonight.
Well, you had the lowest incident count for the evening with 3, if that helped you any.
Yeah, that makes me feel a little better.
But you did, I mean, Yeah, and the Mazda Miatas have a little bit less horsepower.
Yeah, and they're a little bit lighter weight too. So yeah, it's a fun track. It's just I just didn't have any experience on it in a stock car, so I had no idea what to expect. But it was fun. I was struggling with braking and locking up the brakes a lot because I know this track's pretty slick. But I kind of got there at the end, stopped overdriving a little bit. So bringing
Well,
home third, I'm good with that.
all right. Well, we're going to Talladega after a week off, so you're going to go from left-right turns to avoiding the big one in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it might be harder to finish that one than this one. Who knows? But at least I know what I'm doing there.
All right, who do you want to thank for your podium finish tonight at the Monterey Grand Prix here in Salinas on the Laguna Seca?
Just everyone with the North South Racing League, all the drivers, the admins, everybody for making it such a fun place to race, and can't wait to come back and watch the replay on One to Go Studios.
Well, that's good. We had an issue with Facebook. We had to restart the stream, so you'll have one to look for your qualifying times, and then you can jump to the race. So didn't really have any LCQ tonight, but for some reason Facebook didn't like us and they stopped the stream. So it was kind of interesting, but we caught it, got everybody back out here. So you guys will be able to take a look at One to Go Studios. And we'll see you in a couple weeks at Talladega in the ARCA series.
All right, thanks a lot, man. We'll see you there.
I will see you there. That was our third place driver tonight in the 75 ride. Just got checked up with Tim Smith, brand new driver for North South Racing League. Hey, Tim Smith, you're in the booth. One to Go Studios, Harold Darner, man. You're in that One North, new to the ARCA series, man. Pennzoil with teeth.
Yeah, I threw on the old Steve Park throwback for this one.
Yeah, it looked like you had a lot of. You were tearing the track up, chewing it up in the beginning of the race. You and Tiny Horse, that's Ryan Johnson, number 3 car, were putting on a clinic out there tonight.
Yeah, I knew he was starting in the back, and I just wanted to try and get to the lead as quick as I could and run away, but he still ran me down.
He has a very fast racer, but you were staying with him for the most part. He had the second most laps led tonight, and he was. I mean, both of you guys got marred back in the inversion, and I made a comment on the stream. We've been hitting 4 almost every week. It is a random inversion up to 10, and tonight was 10. So it put the leaders in the back pretty quick.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was an inversion deal. I was pretty disappointed to see that. I knew once I seen it, I knew I was going to be starting pretty deep. Just tried to get to the lead as quick as I could and run away, like I said, and I pitted and came out. Being the 38 car, and he decided to run me off the track. He kind of decided the race there for us, so pretty much used up all my stuff trying to get back to Ryan after I got ran off, and the rest is history.
Well, all right. Well, is this your first race with the North South League, or I know it's your first ARCA for this season?
Yeah, this is the first one.
Okay, so you're going to be in the One North car and throughout the season, and we did not have, this was a neutral territory, so this is a little different, and I mean, glad to see you. We'll be in Talladega in 2 weeks. So you got anything ready for that? Are you going to be coming back, or was this a one-off for you?
No, I'll be coming back. I took a long break off iRacing for a while. I just got back, and yeah, I'll be back at Talladega.
All right, Talladega. So who do you want to thank for your second place podium finish for your first race here with North South?
Just everybody that puts the league on. It was a pretty cool deal. And the 38 car for deciding the race.
All right. Tim Smith, second place driver for tonight, and we'll see him at Talladega in a couple weeks. So we're gonna get with race winner Ryan Johnson. Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson, man, another victory in the ARCA. This time on a left-right track.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm pretty proud of this one. I didn't know what to expect, or who would be fast this week, and it seemed Justin would be really fast, as usual. And then I don't know what happened with him and Tim there, and Tim, he was really fast, and I think he's a new driver because I don't remember seeing him before. But yeah, man, got caught up in some stuff, but not too bad of a run, I'd say.
Yeah, well, Smith's new to the league, so that is your second place guy, and Justin Grosser, the 38, was having a lot of issues with. He was actually DQ'd with incident points tonight, and looked like the one was coming off on fresh tires, and this is road course, and it looks wide, but I know from being behind the wheel, it gets real small in some spots really fast.
Oh yeah, it does. That battle with me and Tim there. I mean that's what I like to see though. Like that was a lot of fun. Like we gave each other a lot of room, even though these corners there's not a lot of room, but we held it together, and that was good racing with him. I that was cool.
Well, these cars don't normally show up here. This is an iRacing thing. Be interesting to see the NASCAR circuit maybe come back, or I don't think Dave. I'm trying to think if they've ever been to Laguna Seca. Not in my time, I don't think. But I mean, they have Coda that they just got from, so I mean, I guess it's not too far off for them to entertain that. But they pretty much do Sonoma in California, so I don't think they would do another one. So, but yeah, the horsepower of these cars compared to Monday night. I mean, what was the difference?
You really had to manage your rear tires in these cars. I mean, like you said, they got so much horsepower, and coming off these corners, you hit the gas and go, but you got to ease into it. Otherwise, you just end up destroying the rear tires. And downshifting too, I think was a big part when you're braking. If you don't do it right, you lock the tires up or starts wheel hopping and then I figured something out last night with my downshifting, and I think that helped me tonight. It helped save the tires, and we didn't lose control much.
No, using that engine braking, eh?
A little bit.
A little bit. It's a finesse thing that I have yet to learn. I've had some teachers that do IMSA in real life, and they haven't gotten me any faster. Tom,
It
it's like
definitely takes a lot of practice, I would say. I mean, I don't run a whole lot of road course races either myself, and I figured something out last night. I felt, and
well, I said I keep asking for pointers. It's not too often. I mean, there's not very many iRacers that I know of that can say that they got some tips from Jack Roush Jr. But I've asked him for some help before, and he's tried to help me. I guess there is just no help for me. He's like, you might want to just stick to the booth for a while. So I mix it up with them in the dirt, though, so it's all fun. All right, but I've been, this is a tough track, and that corkscrew is just. I was on with you once or twice and tried to show our viewers who may not have been on this track. I do notice that with the other, the council races and stuff that I've done, like the project cars and a few other, that is not as blind. I mean, in iRacing, and I was told by the IMSA guys, it's really like that in real life, where you basically have to know where your marks are because you don't see the corner. It's not there. It's just really, and with the speed you guys are carrying through there, I mean, I'm pretty sure the same thing. You guys are kind of lining it up with the left tires entering the corner, right?
Yeah, coming up to the hill there, be braking downshifting, and then I mean if you miss that left-hander, you don't know where you're ended up in that right-hander. So I tried to keep the oh god, what's it called? Rumble strip.
Yep.
Right to my left there and go pretty much straight, and it seemed to drop you down right where you wanted to be.
It's about a 32-foot drop from the top of that thing to the bottom. So, and I think iRacing has done a really good job of actually showing that. And a few shots we have, so you get a chance to look back at it, and hopefully you'll show some people to appreciate that a little more. I'm just glad with a track like this that I don't have the full motion ride, because maybe like a roller coaster, wouldn't it?
Oh man, I bet you lose your stomach a lot going down that corkscrew.
Yeah, like, whoa. All right, so Ryan, who are you thinking tonight for tonight's victory checkered flag at Laguna Seca?
All the admins here at NSRL. You open the booth for broadcasting. I always go back and watch them and, see what we did, see what we didn't do. Taz Motorsports, our sponsors for the league, Kelly's Custom Engraving, J&G Hardwood, Five Star Realty Group, Track Time Entertainment, my family, friends. Hopefully, my buddy was able to watch this tonight, Joe and his son Camden. Hopefully, they were able to see it. And yeah, everybody tuning in.
All right, so that's Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson getting the victory at Laguna Seca. We're going to take a week off, and then we're to Talladega. Talk about a track that anything can go.
Oh, you're not lying there. We didn't have a good race at Daytona last season, so we're gonna have to attack it a little differently at Talladega, I think, this season.
These cars are a beast, but they wound up with 3 cars abreast. There's really not a lot of room. Dega's a little bit wider than Daytona, so you can actually go 4 wide. Don't recommend it though. So, but it can be done.
Oh yeah, I mean that's when you get a really good group of guys, and I mean I think we got a pretty good group of guys here. If we needed to, I'm sure we could. But yeah, I'm gonna try to avoid that unless it's like the last lap or something.
Well, it proves to be a very interesting race. We will be ready to show that, and then so basically, I said the week off for the NSRL guys. The Street Stock Showdown, I think you're participating in that on Monday night, right?
Yes, sir. I just signed up, I think it was yesterday.
All right, so we'll see you there. So that'd be Robbie Clavey and Out of the Groove, Wendigo Studios, and the NSRL group. We'll be putting that on, trying to get a 60-car field to head out to the fairgrounds. And you guys have already been on the fairgrounds with that car this season, so hopefully you remember some of that stuff when you get ready to go out there.
Yeah, gonna have to break out the notes.
All right. Ryan Johnson, tonight's winner. We'll talk to you in a couple weeks, man. If not sooner, in Monday night.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. Well, that was Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson. Like I said, 2 weeks. We'll take a break here. We'll come back with the Talladega Super Speedway with the ARCA cars. And until then, we've got tomorrow off from the LSRL. They're taking their Memorial Day off. So our next broadcast will be Monday night at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, right here on the Wendigo Studios channels. And we'll be showing the Street Stock Showdown, which is sponsored by Out of the Groove with Eric Estep, Wendigo Studios, and the North-South Racing League. So if you get a chance, come by and check us out. 60 cars are going to try to make the 31-car feature. And there'll be some cash payouts as well. The drivers are all starting to get up there. There's like 17 positions left. If you have not joined in the fun, go out there and check it out. The Street Stock Showdown at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Until then, I'm Harold Darner, Wendigo Studios. Thanks for watching North-South Racing League. We'll see you at the next turn.
What an exciting race brought to you by Wendigo Studios. Here they come out of turn 4 to the white flag, and it's 1 to go. Thank you to all our sponsors, drivers, and